Welcome to the Marina Show. I'm in a happier mood today. I'm a happy person. I'm sorry if the show looks serious. It's really not. Just kidding. It is serious. I have lots of serious things to say, so listen to me. Okay, so the topic of discussion that I've just come up with in my head, talking to a lot of youth, talking to a lot of people my age. Do you guys remember how old I am? 21. Forever 21. Okay, so the topic that we're struggling with lately, that seems to be affecting women, men, everybody, is this idea of, I need to be successful. I don't know where I'm going in my life. I want to be a pharmacist, but I don't want to be a pharmacist. My dad's making me a pharmacist. I don't know what I'm studying. I'm going into the arts. It's this taboo topic that nobody knows how to talk about, okay? I've been through it. When I was in grade 11, yes, I can't believe I'm saying this on national television, I said, I don't want to do sciences. And all the Egyptians were like, yeah, it's true. I was like, I'm done. I'm not good at this. Sorry. I like writing, English, all that stuff. Not good at sciences. Chucked it out the window. Everyone's like, that's crazy. Do not throw out sciences. That's not what I'm here to tell you. Okay? I'm sure your dad's in the background wishing I wasn't on the television. Okay? It's not what I'm here to say. What I'm here to say is that was a really scary decision in my life that I took. Okay? I did it because I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. But the point is, there's always that fear that we have when things don't work out, that things are going to go crazy. If I don't get into this school tomorrow, if I don't get into this university, if I don't get into this program, all my friends are pharmacists, all my friends are successful professionals, I don't know what's going on. I feel incompetent in my job. I feel incompetent in my work. For those of us that don't know what incompetent is, I'm always here to teach you new words. It means I'm not good enough. We, as Christians, especially in the Coptic community, have this complex where we always feel that we're not good enough. Everybody around us is always better. People around us are engaged. People around us are married. People around us have a job. People around us have this. They have this car, that. We're living in a world that's capitalistic, where the measure of how the economy works is always trying to attain more. It's scary. And nobody addresses it at all. And you just sit there and you're like, what if I'm not going to be as good as that person? What if I'm not going to attain this? What if what I'm doing now is just not going to work out? For example, I just finished my first year of law school. As I told you on the last episode, not the smartest tool in the shed, okay? Didn't do very well. Don't tell my professors. Is this airing on just kidding. Okay, didn't do very well. Basically got horrible marks. I was like, oh my gosh, I got horrible marks. And the thing about law school is they hire you based on your marks, okay? If you have bad marks, you're not getting jobs. And I'm sitting there one night, and I'm like, I'm looking at my transcripts. I'm like, wow, I really have no job opportunities right now. But then I was reminded of my favorite, I know every episode I say this is my favorite verse, but it's the Bible. There's so many good things, okay? They're all my favorite. It's like what you say to your kids. You're all my favorite. I don't know. I don't have kids, but that's what I'll say to them. So you're sitting there being like, I'm not good enough. What I have performed is not good enough. It's not going to take me to where I need to go. And how many times have I said, I, you? There's no God in these equations at all, eh? It's just, I think this about myself. This is where I'm going. This is what I've planned. This is how I've messed up. God does not filter into the equation when we talk about our success. And you know that's true. And then you're like, no, like God takes care of my future. Do you actually believe that? Is that an actual, tangible, real, applied thought in your life every single day? That God is actually working in your path? That He's actually directing you for His purpose? Honestly, think about that for a second. Okay, now you're done. But seriously, I don't think so. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be freaking out on the other side of the television. Okay? And I know you are. So this is what I'm trying to say. Where is God in this equation, and why do I want Him? Because guess what? He sees the whole future. He sees everything. Okay? So how am I supposed to trust that? God, where are you? Always come back to my favorite book with all my favorite verses. So, what does God say? You guys all know this verse, but you don't think about it. You just let it go, okay? So, Jeremiah 29:11. God is speaking to His own people. What is He saying? It's things that we don't imagine. He's not just saying, don't worry. He says this. It's so crisp, precise, to the point. He's saying a message to you that I want you to hear now. He's saying this. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord. thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you a future and a hope. In other translations, it's, for I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to hurt you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. What is God saying in these lines here? He's not just saying I have plans. He says, I know the plans I have for you. The fact that he knows them means that they're real. They're real, tangible plans that he has for you. And we're so scared to just let go and let God. That's such a strange concept. Let go, let God. It's not something that we do in our everyday lives. But he's saying, I know the plans. You fail this test, you fail at this job interview, khalas, thawitha. My Arabic is terrible. It means let it go, okay? Because God has a plan for you. That door is shut. Rejoice. Why are we always so upset at our failures? When you try really hard at something, God closes it. That's amazing. That's great news. That means you tried hard at it. God doesn't want it. He's speaking louder than you. Why is that good? Because he knows the plans that he has for you. And what are those plans? Like if I said, listen, this isn't going to happen because I have plans. I'm going to be like, I don't want your plans. I want my plans. But he's not saying that. He's saying, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you. Plans to make you big. Plans to make you successful. Okay? These are God's plans for us. We are his instruments. Okay? Tell you a story. One time, well, not one time. It always relates back to law school. It's the worst place in the world. Just kidding. Okay. So we have this course called property law. Horrible course. I don't understand property law. I'm driving to my exam. Guess how much the exam's worth? 100%. Yeah, that's right. It's a 2-hour exam. It's worth 100% of your mark. You fail the exam, you fail the course. Okay? You do well on the exam, you pass the whole course. But I don't do well on exams because I freak out under pressure. That's why I'm a hypocrite. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. Just kidding. Okay, so I'm driving, and I'm like sweating, but it's like winter time. It was just the craziest thing. I'm so nervous driving to this property law exam, and I honestly, God saved me from at least 3 car accidents. All you hear is like all these honks. I don't know what I'm doing, right? And then all of a sudden, I remembered this verse, for I know the plans I have for you. And I said, God, if I get a D on this exam, that's your D. That's your mark. If I get a C on this exam, that's your mark. This isn't me anymore. This is my life, but it's your degree. This law degree that I'm doing is for you. I'm using it to serve you. You want it to be a D? That looks bad on your record, God, not mine. Can I tell you that I started laughing in the car? I was like, how funny is that? I'm like, God, you want to get a D? Go ahead. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to write this exam, but it's your mark. It was the most liberating thing in the world. I just surrendered it. I was like, it's yours. I'm on this earth to serve you. If I do bad, that's your people that aren't being served. That's your glory that's not being glorified. Have we ever thought of God like that? No, we think of ourselves. Once we put him in the equation, he just makes the plans better. They're not there to harm us. They're there to help us. Okay? So I'm in the car and I'm like, okay, this is awesome. I walked into the exam. Stress-free, I ended up doing just okay. So what's the lesson that I learned? It's that God wants to glorify himself in you. That's why St. Paul says, it is not I who lives, but what? Say it out loud at your TV. If you don't know the answer, you're not reading this enough, okay? It is not I who lives, but Christ who lives in me. So when Christ is living in you, you try your best and you surrender. That's the amazing things of God's plans. They're not there to harm you. They are there to prosper you. Next time you see failure when you've tried your best, rejoice, because you know God has something better. That doesn't mean that we don't try our best at all circumstances. Surrender, do your best, and God will do the rest. See you next time on The Marina Show.